Okay, YouTube, today we're gonna get this thing working. Uh, Delta 28560 bandsaw, circa early 90s, I think, and it's working great. I'm gonna show you how I did it. It's a Delta bandsaw. It's 28560, 16-inch. Can be used for wood or metal. So we're going to see if we can get this thing working today. What I've done so far is to clean it up. It was full of sawdust and that kind of thing, and so I popped the cover off, cleaned it up, got all that stuff out of there, took a good look at the belts and what they call tires. These tires are probably original equipment. There's a little bit of cracking here, and then this is the main drive belt here. Got your drive motor coming out here, and your idler here. And up here we have another idler with a tire on it, and right now I don't have a blade installed. Over here you have is the tensioning wheel. So this is adjusted for tension and tracking. Other side, I'll show you what I'd done here for the motor was to basically I dismounted it and remounted it. I realigned it, reset all of these nuts. The rubber feet had squished into position pretty tightly, so I kind of rehabbed all that stuff, repositioned it, straightened it out. I got it nice and square. Basically what you need to do for that is to lay a straight edge over the across the span, and make sure that everything's pretty much straight across there. Setting it up and getting a track with the old tires, but because of all the realigning and everything else, it's not doing all that great, so I'm going to try it. I got a new set of tires and belts, and I got the 4-pack. When you go to cut metal, this wheel comes off, and you run a smaller belt directly to the pulley. So today we're going to actually set this up to cut metal, which is a slower speed, but one of the things that I want to use this for is to try to cut acrylic, so acrylic sheet, and I think slower might be better for that. And so basically I'm going to treat it like metal. So I'm going to put the metal drive belt on. We'll take this pulley off. Last thing I did was to put it on a stand, a mobile stand base. Basically you just mount these 4 wheel things. 2 of them have the lift to move, and then release to set position. So when I drop these 2 down in the back, then I can just push it around the garage. So we're going to start pulling tires here and getting the new tires on, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got our tires on. That was exciting. Best thing to do is just go ahead and pop those snap rings off and pull the wheel off. off and do it on the bench. I definitely recommend pulling those off. So that would be the tensioning wheel post or axle right there. And then we have the idler axle as well, and we'll remount those. We'll also pop the drive pulley off because we're going to the metal blade or the metal speed belt with the 3/16, I think. Yeah, 3/16 Allen. And then we'll do the same thing that we did before over here, maybe, I don't know. This one doesn't have its own tire, so I'm going to have to string it around this after I pull the pulley off. So we'll go ahead and pop this off right now. The drive belt. Got the metal drive belt on, and we'll get that tested. What we're going to do now is get a blade on here and try it out. So since we're going to try this on the metal blade, or the metal speed, I'm going to use this blade. It's relatively thin. It's one of the blades the machine came with. I don't see, I've checked this for kinks, so I think it's in pretty good shape. Okay, I've got a blade on. See how well we did here. So you can see we got some tracking problem. We're not up on the crown where we want to be, and now we're still a little bit off, and we're still a little bit off track here. So, yeah, just by driving slowly driving. And actually we're coming right up on the crown there. The markings up there on the top, you can see the white washer there, the edge of that white washer, that lines up with the width of the blade. Based on what I read in the instructions, the numbering is intended for wood, and I've got the metal drive in, so we're going to have to play with the tension a little bit. I've got it tensioned as high as it'll go. You can maybe you can hear that. Sounds like a really deep guitar string. I'm hoping that's not too much, but we'll find out. Get this thing fired up, make sure we're not going to pop the blade right out, which has been my experience to date. So, crossing the fingers. Okay, we're going to plug in and we're going to give this a try. So, plugged in. Firing up. 3, 2, 1. We're not losing the blade yet. Tracking looks good. Okay, let's shut it down and see what happens. Okay, that was promising. That looks pretty darn good. We have a little bit of melted plastic on the edges, but not a lot, and it's a pretty clean edge. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's pretty square. Final thoughts, I think the metal speed works great. The new tires and belts are working great. I'm not having any tracking problems. Belt tension is really good. Everything so far has been phenomenal. Didn't have to adjust the tracking at all for the metal blade. The cutting on a curve, I got some pretty tight curves with this little blade here. Still got good tension. Hopefully you saw as I put pressure on the blade, we actually did pick up the guide bearing, which is a good sign. So I think this is going to work great for cutting plastic. I mean, that edge it's really hard to see, I'm sure, on the video, but that edge is really smooth. This is a little on the thin side as far as plastic sheet is concerned. If I'm going to be making anything that's going to hold water or something like that, it's probably going to be about twice as thick. In general, so far, everything looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks for watching. Hope that worked out for you. And see you next time.